All right, so what I'm going to do now is basically just going to review some turning points and how the accumulation distribution developed in them, see which ones worked, which ones didn't, what were the common characteristics, etc. So there's one turning point that, I mean, is just in development right here. And let's see, left-hand side would probably be here. 9:30. So first of all, from a time perspective, the last turn occurred around 9. It started around 9:30, 9:30-ish. Let's go whatever. Around. It started right here, so that is around 9:41. All right, around 9:30. Okay, and then it rallied up, and then over here it ended around afternoon because they want to get out of their positions before the weekend. And what do you see is on this turn, you have a big move up, followed by volume off the top, right there, biggest volume in 60 bricks, and follow through. So in my opinion, this has turned. And I'm trying to figure out how far it'll go, but the thing is, once the session closes, then new session starts, I think those trades that are in development are invalidated because there's too much craziness that goes on between those two times. When one session ends and another session starts, it just doesn't work. So next is the accumulation here. The accumulation here started with a volume off the bottom, which was the biggest in about 19 bricks, and it had follow through. Then it had a test and a retest, formed a springboard, and then had a breakout that created your change of behavior. Let's bring this a little lower. I mean, it's no brainer that this is a change of behavior. I mean, look at it, biggest volume in 29 waves and biggest distance in 8 waves. So, I mean, it's obviously a change of behavior. Okay. And look at its breakout, the biggest in at least 100 bricks. Unfortunately, this thing didn't give a pullback, but something like this is so lucrative because the probabilities of its working is very high. You have ending action to some degree, not really very clear because there's not a climactic move down, but the volume off the bottom is actually here there was climactic action. Okay, I take that back. Right here, this is the climax. It's the biggest down wave in 39 waves. It's done, terminated, done, finish. And it gets taken out. So, I mean, it's climactic action. Anyway, climactic, thresholds a little bit, low volume right here. See the 69 to 18 and 19. It's a secondary test. That's what it is. And has a volume off the bottom in the middle. And then after that, change of behavior, and that's it. Okay, so the bottom line is you're looking for ending action and then beginning action. I don't know how else to say it, but ending action is climactic. Beginning action is also the same. It's like selling on the way down, selling on the way up, or buying on the way down, buying on the way up. This is buying on the way down, and this is buying on the way up. And that makes a turn. This is a little bit tough, but I think, actually, look at the volume here. That's the biggest volume in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skipping this, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that is climactic also. Sometimes it gets interrupted because of that change of behavior. But if you take that change of behavior out, it's pretty big. The volume is very high. So this is climactic as well. And you have your change of behavior. So this is going to turn highly likely, but over the weekend and session closes, that messes up everything. All right, so in this accumulation range, you see a climax, you see volume off the bottom, you see a change of behavior, and you see all of that. In here, let's move on to the next one. This I really can't see anything, so forget it. Here, oh yeah, here you have volume off the bottom. You don't have a climactic low, but you have volume off the bottom, you have change of behavior, and you have a pretty nice break. Not really, but it takes out these highs and tests and flies. Sometimes this is the tough part, is that you're not going to get climactic action every time. So this is the variation of the market. It just does stuff like that. And sometimes I don't know, I don't know what it is. But here you have this, you have the break high low, and they have a test and flies. Oh, not a fly, but it gives the trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If your order is here or here, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think it's like 5R. Around 5R. All right. All right. Next trade is up here. Climactic action right up there. Breaks it, test, and puke. Very nice, like 5, 6R. I think at least. Actually, more than that. It's about at least 7R. Okay, now over here, this was accumulation, and this is easy to do because this market in consolidations, they can be very lucrative. If you know which markets are in consolidation, you can play that, those support resistance games. Here, this one didn't work. So you actually don't have climactic action, but you have volume off the bottom, and you have a change of behavior, and then you have a test, but fucking thing springed. So sometimes, they try to defend right here, but it did a spring. And otherwise, this is at least 4R. Well, what are you going to do, right? So this one screwed up. This is the variation of the market, the depth of the test. Sometimes it goes below the low. Why does it go below the low? Anytime you are counter trending, get ready for this behavior. When you're counter trending and there's an accumulation wave with the idea of it being a retracement. So the pullback here is a retracement in a downtrend, and accumulation occurs to set up that retracement to go up, or to retrace. That's when they get sprung. If you trade with trend, it's far less likely to get sprung, and that's just an observation I've had. But that's what I see. All right, next is right here. This was beautiful in terms of what you have: climax, you have your change of behavior, you have a test, and you have all the elements. Okay, now there's a couple of things that I want to explain. Actually, let's take a look at some that didn't work. All right, this one worked as well. You have your break, test, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's 5R. 5R moves. Like when markets are in consolidation like this, like grinding on a higher time frame, you can really there's a lot of 4R and 5R trades, tons of them. Instead of having one big trade like a 10R, there's always like because it's grinding. It's in a range, and that range is, from what I've seen, is not that hard to read either. Like here, you got what? Your change of behavior or whatever, sign of strength, right? Here you have your climax. Then you have a break. And then, so it's in small ranges. They just go up 4R, down 4R. So range bound behavior is very lucrative. Anyway, so this here, yeah, this one worked. Why did it work? There's no ending action, but there is one clue. That clue is this: the shortening of the thrusts from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and then bang up here. And even if you don't think this is going to work, it had a follow through rally. That's your confirmation. So it's going to work. I mean, the chances are high because you have hinges in the back, you have a breakout, which is a high volume breakout, biggest in 49 bricks. You have a rally on big volume, and you have this. So it's just the likelihood that this is working is quite high. You just have to, be ready that they're selling up here and it goes down and selling. And when it tests, you just have to have a low risk test, and you don't really know how far it's going to go because it's in a range, and they can just go to this resistance area right here and puke. So in that case, it could be a break-even trade. But the chances of it rallying off of this quote unquote imbalance or whatever, it's just a test, is very high. Right? Very high. I'm taking out this trend line here. Boom. Anyway, next one, I can't really see anything here. Next one. This one here is a break even. It has a climax, then it has a change of behavior. But what do you notice about this change of behavior? And this is very important because a lot of times you have the price and volume behavior, but it's not going to work. Why? If you have a change of behavior after multiple waves, meaning this change of behavior is after 1, 2, 3, 4 waves. It's on the fourth wave down. The likelihood that this is a spring increases. Because why is the biggest wave after 1, 2, 3, waves? It should be immediate. After the climax, maybe one test and break. But it should be coming from the highs. It should not be coming after lower highs. If it's coming after lower highs and then flushes, this itself could be a climactic move, like a minor climax to go higher. So in this case, it's after 1, 2, 3 on the fourth high. 1, 2, one, lower high, lower high, lower high. There's a third lower high, and then it shoots. So even though it gave break-even trade, like it tested up here and went down, and you have some profitability, like the chances of this working, you have to ask yourself, why the fuck didn't it come from the highs? Right? Because smart money sells highs. They don't wait and wait and wait and then puke. It's right at the highs. So that's the thing. So yes, you have a climax, and yes, you have sign of weakness, but why did it come later? And if you think this is cause or anything like that, it is possible, but I get wary about this. And look at this break up here. They were sell positions or stops or something. This break has extremely high volume. It has the biggest volume in 100. You know why? Because the stops would be up here, right? Because the rally stuff's here and above. So they're taking sell positions here. This is a pullback, and there's two things that could be occurring. One is above this high, right? It's a breakout. Two, it's running the stops above this high. Three, this area is being sold into. And fourth, all of those three things combined. Like if they made a lower low, the stops are above here, it's hitting them. Pullback traders will sell against this area. they're getting in. Breakout traders want to buy above this high, they're getting in. So anyway, long story short, this is confusing. All right, let's go to the next one. I can't tell anything other than there's a lot of volume here, relatively speaking. This is 30, this is 33 zeros, then finally makes a high. So, I mean, can't really tell anything other than that. Oh yeah, this one here. This is the interesting one. This is the failed one, right? This one fails. And it's important to understand why it failed. First, there's a climax, but it's on all the way back here. All right. So this is like, it gets me thinking, why is it all the way back here and not on the prior wave or the top wave? So okay, so I let that go. Second, you have some volume off the top right there. You see that little red brick? Right? So the climax, it's supposed to puke right here, but it hinges, does one more breakout, then finally it breaks. You have a breakout right there, biggest volume about 10 bricks, heavy selling right off from the top. I mean, the chances of this working are quite high. The chances of this working are high because of a lot of reasons, but because it's definitely not a spring attempt, but it gets up thrusted. Like this area, this is your up thrust after distribution, and this you can't really do anything about. I mean, take a look at this. When it rallies back there, they're selling against that area. Look, because it tests, gives a nice low risk test, right? And what happens? Look at this selling pressure. So if you saw this, big selling, big everything, what are you going to do? It goes here, sell, 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 right? And that selling is right here on that 51. That 51, it goes 28 and then 51, ready to sell, ready to sell. But it gets up thrusted. This is the wick of the next candle that does all this shit. So the distribution did occur. It did do all of that, but they just ran it up. And this is a variation in the market. I have no idea what to do about it. All you can do is have low risk stop and see if there's a re-entry here. There's nothing else you can really do. I mean, take a look at how it looks. Look at here. I mean, literally, look at this. Oh, yeah. Now I know why I did this. Now I know why I did this shit. Anytime you are counter trending, right, you're subject to this type of behavior. So look in the middle chart. In the middle chart, this distribution is right here. So you're counter trending, it rallies, it rallies, it makes one low, then one green brick, then an up thrust, and then it falls. So this is a result of counter trending, trying to sell, because this is distribution. But as you know, when you counter trend, you're subject to up thrust and springs. So this is the result. And that's why I don't want to mess with it, because that's what happens. Okay, so the next one, you're in a test position here, right? Your volume off the bottom, rally, test, done. You're in a test position. You got volume off the bottom. There's buying pressure. Get in the pullback. It's only 2.5 R. So, but it's not a loss. It's the biggest volume in 49 waves, biggest wave in 16 waves. And it goes up here. And then if you get taken out, you get taken out right here at break even. And then you just wait here. Damn, man, here you have your climax. Here you have again your change of behavior. And it takes out this high. It doesn't take out that high yet, but let's see. This is very aggressive buying. So this is, I think this is not a spring, but this is another opportunity to, you know, to get in because of the climactic action and that reversal. It's the biggest volume in 49. It's definitely buying because this was the initial buying and this was the wick. So if you take a look here on the middle chart, the red brick is where the accumulation occurred, and then the green brick is a very slightly low, and it wicks and then it flies. So you can't really do anything about that, and just have to re-enter. If you understand the behavior, just a re-entering technique. Anyway, so it's a break even and no re-entry is fine. So what are the common characteristics amongst both you see amongst the accumulation and distribution? Typically, again, like look here, climactic action, selling, definite selling. Right? Selling here, biggest in 8 waves, biggest in 30 waves, biggest in 31 waves. It's just a matter of how, if you can get in on a low risk retest. And beautiful entry right above this high when they run the stop and puke fest. Right? So we see that ending action occurred with a climax and the beginning action occurred with a change of behavior. Here again, ending action did not occur with a climax, but occurred with the volume of the bottom and then a change of behavior. Here, ending action occurred with a climax and a change of behavior. Yeah. Here, ending action occurred early and a change of behavior. What the? Why it keeps doing this? This has no indication whatsoever because it's a wick. Here, nothing, I can't tell. Here, ending action occurred with a climax and a change of behavior and was a break even. Here, ending action occurred with nothing. There was a change of behavior with that. Here, ending action occurred with a climax and a change of behavior. Here, ending action occurred with a climax and a change of behavior. Here, ending action occurred with the volume of the bottom and a change of behavior. Here, ending action occurred with a climax, shortening of the thrust, and a change of behavior. And here, ending action occurred with somewhat of a climax. Actually, it is a climax, but this thing messes it up. Climax and a change of behavior. So, from a Wyckoff standpoint, You want to see ending action and a change of behavior. That's all, folks. Take care. Bye.